God we will follow.
Hi, welcome to Trinity Talk Live, water cooler conversations from the Christian perspective. I'm Mary Kay Coughlan, and I'm usually behind the camera, but today I'm taking over because we're talking about women's ministry, and Ken feels uniquely unqualified to talk about it. So I'm here today instead. And to my right is my lovely office mate, Lori Hinman. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay.
While you're here.
I am a staff person here at Trinity. I do several different things, but one of which is the women's ministry staff person. I'm also the Bible study staff person and the staff person for international missions. But right now, we're going to talk about women's.
Women's, yes. So what's really exciting is this is going to air soon. Mm-hmm. As most of you know, the live is live people, not live as you see it. And January 19th and 20th is Women's Ministry Weekend in our church. Yep. And January is Women's Ministry Month. Yep. So that's why we're talking about it. So if you could just start us off by talking about what women's ministry is, or at least, and sort of what it's been here at Trinity. I know that sort of intertwines a little bit, so I'll let you.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's start out with, first of all, like a general idea of women's ministry is that it's just events and studies and places to bond that are specifically geared toward women. I mean, that's the easy part of it. Mm-hmm. The hard part of it is that it's really changed. I mean, we've really always had a strong women's ministry here at Trinity, but it looks very different than what it used to look like. What it used to be was...
When you say used to, how far back are we talking?
Well, I mean, I'll go back as far as 30 years, 35 years. We were in the ELCA at that point, so it was women of the ELCA or WELCA. And WELCA was formed around groups, and they were called circles. And so these circles met. They were Bible study groups. It was kind of the original small group model.
But for women.
But for women only.
Okay.
And then the different groups would take on different events during the year. So this group, for the life of me, I cannot remember the groups right now, but then the names of them had to do with what they did. So this group would always be responsible for, say, the Christmas bazaar and, the Easter eggs. And then this group would always be doing Bible study and those kind of things. And so it was kind of a very set way of getting a lot of women involved. And those women worked really hard, but they were stay-at-home moms, generally. Okay. So it was a really thriving ministries. I mean, I have notes back in my office of these oyster dinners that were put on, and stories of Reverend Austin way back when, Pastor John's father, in the kitchen patting oysters, and they would make just these crab cakes, and I have recipes from them, and these huge Christmas bazaars they used to have, and I can't even tell you the numbers of Easter eggs. It was probably more like 5,000 Easter eggs. Like now we do like 2,600. It was a lot more, just bigger, because women had more time. And not to dismiss the fact that women who work in the home don't have anything to do. I certainly don't mean to say that, but they didn't also have to do a job outside the home. Yeah. So there was a little bit more negotiation, a little more flexibility there. So now we have the opposite model, and we have the majority of women are now working at least maybe part-time outside their house or full-time, and then they come home and they have kids to raise and a husband to take care of and, grow a family together. And so it's harder to get women involved. It's harder to have those commitments, long-term commitments to this group, this circle, this event. And so you have to change. And so what we've had to do over the past 10 years is really take a look at what women's ministry is, what it's been, and what it needs to be for future generations, because there's a generation of women coming into motherhood and seasons of their life that they are struggling in, like we all are. But they need a sense of community.
Yeah.
And they need women's support, and they need mentoring by Christian women. And so we have to figure out how to make that happen.
And that's, that just reminds me of all the things that I've seen and read about the way in biblical times families used to be,
Yes.
and communities used to be, is, a lot of times they would work together to do things and accomplish things, whether it was for the society or for one household. So, so here at Trinity, how do you get women involved? I mean, what do you do, and what do we do here to get women involved, and what aspects of their lives are you working on?
What we've tried to do is kind of divide the ministry into specific areas. So we have events that have to do with spiritual growth. So those would be Thursday morning Bible studies, an evening study if we have one for women. That would be the simulcast that we had in the fall with Beth Moore. It would be any kind of outside event that talks about spiritual growth. We're trying to get a group together to go to the Dare to Be conference up in Bel Air at the end of January. So anything that's going to help your faith grow, that's kind of one area. And then the second area would be just to have fun together, because we can't build community if we are not comfortable with each other. So we have events that they're strictly for fun. I mean, if you go out and play bunco with the group of ladies, the game is designed so that you rotate around the room so everybody gets to know everybody. And it's just to have fun. There's no purpose in the game. There's no, lifelong benefit you're going to get from rolling dice, but it is a lot of fun, and we laugh, and we have a great time. And I've met some really fun people through that, but our Christmas crafternoon we just had, that was fun.
That looked like a lot of fun. I wish I could
That
have come to that
was,
one.
and it was intergenerational. We had a lot of, we had younger women, we had middle-aged women, we had older women, and it was really fun to get everybody together. We usually have a crazy summertime party at the Joyner House, and we have teas, the women's teas that we have. We also have some groups. We have the book club, Lit and Lattes. We have a walk and talk group that we're trying to get going. And then we're going to, we used to have a creative journaling group, but it's going to morph, I think, into more of a general crafting group.
Okay.
And like you bring whatever project you're working on, and then we're all just we're going to give you space and time, and we're all going to be there together. But I might be working on scrapbooking, you might be working on crocheting, somebody else might be working on card making, whatever. It's just kind of a time together.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of, some of the small groups, because I'm the small group leader, but we have a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
Because during VBS, the moms group meets during that week.
Right.
And we chat and we talk and about some of the challenges we're going through as moms, and we meet every once in a while for things, but a lot of times I'll just tell them, hey, you need this is coming up with women's ministry, because ultimately all moms are women. And then you have your creative journaling group, which started out as a small group,
right?
And I have Hook Yarn and Stitchers, which is a crocheting / knitting group,
right?
And we have a time when we meet, but we work on. I'm always telling them about, hey, are you doing this? Are you guys doing that? And it's always women's ministry stuff, because although Hook Yarn and Stitchers could have some men in it.
Well, and same with the journaling. That group wasn't started for just women, but it's attracted only women. Yeah. And
that's
same
usually,
with the crocheting, it's not that you couldn't have a guy come, but
my
so
father
far,
actually learned how to crochet. He doesn't really do it, but
so far we haven't had that.
Oh yes, my husband also learned a little bit of crocheting. I did teach him just a little bit.
But isn't it funny when you do the VBS Moms group, by the end of the week, don't you hear the moms saying to you, I love this time together.
I'd love to be able to spend,
need this. I so need this.
But then trying to find it.
Yep.
is so hard.
Trying
so,
to get them to back there again.
Yeah. So, and that's fine. The way we're sort of running that group is that we're trying to just give them opportunities. And even if those opportunities are ones that you've created in your women's ministry, between the two of us, we're trying to give them the opportunities to spend some time outside of
and just
being a mom. And remember, you're a woman
Yeah.
too.
I want to read you a quote, I found this. It was really kind of cool. It says, over time, we become our friends as we mirror their thoughts, beliefs, and actions. In fact, many say that we are the average of the 5 people we spend most of our time with. So we're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So if you want to be a godly Christian woman, in that 5 people that you have, there should be some godly Christian women. And church is a great place to find them. So I think that should be one of your priorities,
we do spend some time together in our office. Lori and I are going to become each other.
That's right. We're going to become each other. But the last thing I wanted the last area that women's ministry works on is outreach. And we have some people on our team that are they're passionate about outreach.
Yeah.
They want to help Sidewalk Sunday School. They did the coat drive. We got
oh my gosh, the coat drive was really,
that was crazy.
That went really well.
Yeah. We help out with the egg hunt. We do Sidewalk Sunday School. We provide stuff for their parties. We financially support missions and VBS and things like that through our fundraisers. And so high school scholarships.
Yeah, I was
kicking that
I saw
off.
that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
So
on your desk,
that's as important. That's a third of what we do, and we try and keep those percentages similar, so that it's not all about fun. It's not all about outreach. Yeah. It's not all about faith growth. It's a combination of all of it.
There's nothing wrong with the fun.
Yeah, we need
because
in
a way it's also support, but And the Bible, the one thing I love about the Bible study is I can't always come, but I can always come.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
I can always jump in and just sit and listen, even if I don't have the book or I haven't been able to come for the first 5 weeks, or and it's good, even just to touch base with some of those women.
Yep.
And share prayer requests and
absolutely,
all of those things.
Yeah, that's a really supportive group.
Yeah.
When you're struggling with something. That's a praying group of ladies on Thursday mornings.
Yeah, they are.
They really are. And like you said, even if you just want to drop in, like you're not even signed up for the study and you just want to drop in, it's totally fine. You're still going to get something. I always tell people, if you come, you're going to get something. God's going to speak to you somehow.
Some way.
And even if it's just a small word or confirmation or something, or even just a prayer for you, you're going to get something out of being with other women. So just come. Like, there's no pressure. You don't have to, we're not going to make you stand up and sing, I promise. Because I wouldn't be there. Otherwise, that is not a gift of mine. But just come. Try it. We always tell people, just try. Just have fun.
So, other churches, why should they have, even if they don't really necessarily refer to it as a women's ministry, why should they have events? Why is it important for women to get together and have this support in this day and age, so that those specifically geared towards women at things, whether it's a crafternoon or
right.
By the way, can you just really quickly just explain what a crafternoon is and then go into the
question?
Because I realize we never really explained it.
It was just a time we made 3 crafts. We made 4 crafts. Now I can't remember how many we made. It was only a couple weeks ago.
It was right before Christmas.
Anyway, 3 or 4 crafts, one of which was an outreach program. We actually made a bag to put cookies in to take to an assisted living community right there in Edgewood. And then the 3 crafts were either to be used by you as decorations or gifts or whatever you wanted to use them for. And we went through them together, and they were really beautiful. So, and we just had fun. We played some games.
Yeah, I was going to say, you had other things.
Yeah,
you
we
had games.
Silly games and stuff,
I really like the pictures of the two people. It was like a three-legged race, but with two people trying to
wrapping paper. Yes. That was
two
very
people
funny.
trying to wrap. All right, so back to my other question. Why is it important to have events like that in your church?
I would say because
even if
women are from Venus and men are from Mars.
Okay.
That's why. We're just different. We're wired differently. And what I need from a community and what I need from church is so very different than what my husband needs from church. And the other saying, of course, is, let's see, women are like spaghetti, men are like waffles. Have you heard that one?
No, I actually haven't. I'm wondering
men are like
we're both
waffles.
carbs, but
It'll make sense when I explain to you. So so like men are like waffles. This is a book, I think, and I don't remember the author's name, but men. Okay, you know how waffle has like little compartments.
Oh, okay.
So a man is going to go and they're going to take out the, clean the garage waffle piece, and they're going to take that out and they're going to do that, and then we're going to put that back in the thing.
In that
and
little
we're
square.
going to move on to something else. Okay.
Okay.
On the way different than women who are like spaghetti, where
It's all
we're all mixed
just
together.
mixed together and twined up, and
We can be talking about 12 different things at one time, and the men they just heard the first thing that we're going to say, and then they're already trying to figure out how to fix that, because that's what men do, you know. Well, wait, I thought we were talking about this, and, you and I are like on to, we're already past that. Like, we're just done.
yeah, that's true. We have different ways of communicating.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that we get things from different people, what we need from different relationships.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we're going to get something from the relationship we have with our family, our husband, our
Right.
kids. But there's something unique that we get from other women.
Yeah.
And to know that you're in a safe place too, hopefully.
Yeah.
The with other Christian women who are going to look at you with Christian love and not. Sometimes I feel like women are very almost competitive.
Yeah, it can be. Can be. Yeah.
And to just know, they're going to meet me where I am, and they're going to help me move forward.
Right.
In a safe, you're in a safe environment. So.
Yeah, I put a post on my personal Facebook page the other day, and I put on there, why is it important for women to have women friendships? And I got some really interesting responses back, but one of them said, because I know they'll understand what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And I think that's just, and it sounds weird, but I mean, it's the same thing with men. Like if my husband sat down with his best friend and they were chatting back and forth, that male friend would know exactly what he was talking about.
And, and they would
And
understand.
in the same way, and men need men events that are just men, and women need women events that are just women.
And we do have a men's ministry, and I believe May is their May.
I think that's right.
I think May is their month, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
It's coming.
And then the other thing is that you do need the co-ed events.
Yeah.
Because you do learn from each other, for sure. I'm going on adult mission trips with the group that goes nationally. And you learn from those men, and they learn from you. And so it's kind of, both are important, but I just think there was somebody who posted on that Facebook post of mine, and it said something about, somebody said it takes a village, like you were saying, it takes a village. And they posted back a link to an article, and it was talking about how the church used to be your village, and the communities that you live in, they used to be your village, and they're not anymore, but they still need to be.
Yeah.
And
well,
so,
the more global we've gotten,
Yeah.
sometimes the more, or the less local we've gotten.
Yeah. Well, and the social media part of
Yeah,
it, because
yeah. And that makes you global.
you got
and
4,082 friends, but
how many of them are really friends?
how many really friends do you have?
Yeah.
Hopefully you have 5, like we talked
Yeah,
about.
five,
before, right?
and 5 closest friends.
But it's, women relationships are important. I can't even overemphasize that enough. But when we go on retreat, and we, go away for a weekend, or even if you just do a day event with just women, it's just different. I'll give you an example. We have events that sometimes Bible studies. Actually,
Okay.
I'll give you this example. We have Bible studies that are done by women teachers, and so they're going to joke around about stuff that men would go, "Why are you talking about that? Like what? Like why is that important?" You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, okay, Beth Moore. She's very well known in the Christian speaker community. She almost always has to talk about her hair. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she always talks about how she's a Southern girl. She's got big hair, and if she's having a bad hair day, she'll always say it from the podium, and it's just silly stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, men don't want to hear about bad hair. Men get up and go, "Psh," and they're done, right?
Because they don't understand
Right.
how long
Right.
it takes.
And how that's part of who we are, in the morning, we got to do our hair. So,
And that sometimes it doesn't want to do what we want it to do, and you get this.
right. So, it's just funny because, you can tell a woman speaker who's speaking to a group of women. They're going to talk about things that we connect with. And no, it's not spiritually deep to talk about your hair, but it does connect you to the audience.
Yeah.
And they're going to people go, oh,
I'm
I
not
totally
perfect.
get her.
I worry about my
totally
hair
get
too.
her,
And
Yeah.
and that's the aspect is that
Yeah.
you're more approachable. A woman is more approachable when you admit to everybody,
Yes.
I'm not perfect.
Right.
I'm not pretending to be.
Right, exactly.
Come sit next to me and let's chat.
Yeah.
So just to sort of wrap up, is there anything that we haven't covered that you wanted to get out there, or any advice maybe for another church on how to get started? One event, one Bible study.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would just say take a leap of faith and just do something, even if it's just a short study, even if it is just an afternoon where you get together, everybody brings a bag lunch, and you have somebody that maybe you could have a panel of people, different ages come in, or you can run the gamut. You could even just come and do like a crafting thing like we
Yeah.
did and make it really informal. Like it doesn't have to be complicated with women because we always find something to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that other than that. But there's always a common bond. If you put a group of women in a room, you're going to get a conversation.
Yeah, bring dessert,
So-
coffee,
Right.
some other
Yeah.
thing else to drink if you're
Food.
not a coffee drinker. Food, drink, and
Other women.
Just
Yeah.
even if it's just a question,
Yep.
something that one Bible verse, and you
Even
could probably,
I was going to say, even if you go and Google icebreakers or
Yeah.
something, because we're women and we're spaghetti. One
you never know where
icebreaker,
you
could talk
never
for
know where
30
it's going to
minutes.
go. You don't
Talk
have.
for 30 minutes on an icebreaker.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, or joining me, and joining them, and telling us about women's ministry. Again, Women's Ministry Weekend here is January 19th and 20th. Please come out and see what else you might learn about our women's ministry here. We're at 1100 Philadelphia Road, Joppa, Maryland. If you're not in state, come anyway. And let's see, I have a list of things that I have to talk about because I don't do this often. If you liked this video, please click the like button, the thumbs up button on the YouTube page. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It helps us out. Please share this video with your friends on Facebook or through email, wherever. Speaking of Facebook, we have a Facebook page. It's called Trinity Joppa Channel. Please follow us there because you'll find out about all the upcoming shows that we have planned. And if you have an idea of something you'd like to see us do, you can tell us there.
Wait, we have a women's ministry Facebook page. Too.
Oh, well, yeah. Tell them about that. Go ahead.
No, that's it. The
Just-
women's ministry Facebook page.
But what is it called, though?
I don't remember. We'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, we'll get Ken to put it on the screen. All right, so next week we don't have a show because it is Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday observation,
Celebration, yeah.
whatever, on Monday, and that's when we usually film these things, so the church will be closed. But in 2 weeks, this is kind of exciting. We have Robert Batista. I hope I said his name right. He's a missionary who recently came back from Pakistan, and he's going to be talking about all the persecution that's going on over there and that he's witnessed. And so that's going to be a excuse me. That's going to be a really interesting show. You should definitely tune in for that. Greg Derwart is also going to be on the show. So if you're a big Greg Derwart fan from In the World, one of our other shows, the one about current events, he's also been on Trinity Talk Live a lot. So if you're a big Greg Derwart fan, definitely tune in. He's going to be helping Ken ask lots of questions about what it's like being a missionary overseas, which Lori knows a lot about and is about ready to get ready to do. She's getting ready to go to Guatemala, so we're going to wish you well.
Thank you.
And pray for you that you travel safely. And thank you for joining us. And God bless.
In your word we will follow.
Hey, if you haven't joined our Patreon yet, would you mind giving it your prayerful consideration? Patreon is a way you can support the Trinity Joppa YouTube channel. We've got multiple tiers to choose from, starting as low as $2 per month. Visit www.patreon.com/TrinityJoppa for all the details. Thank you. God bless.